Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. This is Serge the Boss with guys, and today I have an audiobook car amplifier to fix. I can't really see the value of the amplifier because it's scratched here, but this looks like a good amplifier. It's big meaning there's big stuffs in it, so we're gonna open it together and then see what's going on inside. So if you ever happen to open a car amplifier, you will always know that you have to open from this plate to get in, because the board is lying on this other part of the car amplifier inside. So I will just start by open this, take out this metal plate. Okay, and now we're inside. This looks like a good amplifier. It's not bad. It will give you, I think it's you can see it's a 2-channel amplifier, and I just take you around it. There's a power input, the fuse, the speaker output is clearly written there, and then this side of the amplifier you always have the gain control. Let me just put it. Here's the remote and super bass to control the bass, the level, line in and line out the other CAs, left and right channels. And here's power, here's protection, and here's subsonic frequency and X over. So if you want to set the amplifier, if you want to set it to the desired tone that you want, it will always be that side. So yeah, you always have it like the basic amplifier circuit that you always see. I see this is a black board inside. I think it's the first black board I fixed. I usually fix blue and green boards. So yeah, I can clearly see these are the input filter capacitors, the fuse, diode. These are resistors for the output. I think these are the ohms, the resistance. So what I will start to do is to check the power MOSFETs. Power MOSFETs, diodes, then the output transistors. It's pretty basic, like any other repair that I've done on my channel, but I would like to go detailedly. So if someone that never fixed car amplifiers before, I just want to show you how you can fix any car amplifier. It doesn't matter which one, though some amplifiers are complicated, but you can fix any basic problem with the car amplifier, which is mainly the MOSFET or the transistor problems. You have other problems like capacitors. You can see a burst capacitor, it will cause you not to switch on. Those are other problems, but just understanding how a car amplifier works and how important is the MOSFETs and the transistors on the motherboard. So I will start by, of course, checking the input MOSFET. The first thing you want to do, you want to put your multimeter to diode mode and probing with your black pin in the middle. You want to go one step to the left, okay, and you want to go one step to the right. Sorry. So the black is in the middle and the why I go both sides is to identify which type of power MOSFET am I dealing with. So basically it doesn't matter. Mostly with the MOSFET it's a little bit confusing. All you need to do is just to get the drain and the source to make sure they are not shorted, just like any other MOSFET. So it's the first point of the MOSFET is the gate. The second is the drain, which has a heatsink, is connected to the heatsink, and then the last one is the source. So most of the times you just want to check for, you don't want continuity between the drain and source. Doesn't matter what pin you put there, which black probe. If you put a black probe and then you get it charging, then maybe it's a NPN. If you put the red probe, then it's charging, maybe it's a PNP. You just need to swap the probes and then you will get it working again. So far so good. I haven't seen any short. I haven't gotten any continuity or short between the drain and the source of any of the MOSFETs, which tells me that the MOSFETs this side are fine. I will just go the same way this side. Now if it gives that deep sound while it's why the voltage drop is going up, it's because it's still connected on the circuit and maybe the capacitors are getting charged or discharging. You just have to hold it for a little bit longer time, then it's gonna stop. So what I would advise you before starting to check anything is always to do your visual checks. Now visual checks for me, I do them when I take out the heat sinks, because sometimes it looks okay but under the heat sink is burnt or something. So your visual checks is very important. So I started this video but it's late now, so it's almost log off time for me to go home, and I just wanted to explain this part of the board. I won't fix everything today, but I will explain. So I will take my time in fixing it to explain step by step, so you understand that if you can follow it from the start to the finish, then you will be fully ready to fix any car amp. You can even tell your friends to bring their broken car amps to you, and hopefully you can make some couple of bucks with this knowledge. It's priceless knowledge, and I just plead for you to focus and understand and pay more attention to what I'm saying. So it's when it comes to power MOSFETs or MOSFETs, it's mostly drain and source. Drain and source is not shorted, or maybe the gate voltage is not being given for the drain to switch on. But most of the times the problem is the drain and source. You don't want continuity there. So I've fixed a lot of car amplifiers, and I have noticed that if the MOSFETs are having a problem, the car amplifier won't switch on, or sometimes you can go to protection mode. But most of the times when it's protection mode, it's the output transistors, which means the power MOSFET, the filter capacitor and the coil, they make the input. You have the rectifier, which is the bridge which the current goes through and then goes through the output. You have the capacitors will keep the output voltages stable. You have the current sensors who check and make sure the current is alright, and then you have the output transistors, then you have the op amps. So I will end today here with the testing of the power MOSFETs, and tomorrow I will start checking the diodes and the capacitors and move forward to the output section of the board, the motherboard. So this car amplifier doesn't power on. It looks like everything is fine, but everything is not fine. But I hope by the end of this series of videos you understand what it takes for you to fix any broken amplifier that you have laying around for a long time. So thank you so much for watching this episode. I will see you again tomorrow for the next episode while we are fixing this car amplifier together. Have a nice day and bye bye.